Wanted to make sure I make this turn right. I want my mama getting on me for paying attention to the phone while I'm trying to be safe. What's going on, everybody? This is Chris Classic dropping a car vlog, live car vlog. Like I said, I'm going to try to spend more time with you guys because you guys are spending time with me. Nobody tells you to remember that God loves you, Christ loves you, and I love you as well. Make sure that you tell somebody that you love them. And if nobody tells you to remember that you are loved, then spread the love. You know, God is love, so I want you guys to understand that. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, the Take It Home Podcast, where I talk about professional wrestling topics, and I put up my matches as Classic Alpha, a professional wrestler of 13 years. While you're in the subscribing mood, make sure you also subscribe to C3 Ultimate Wrestling. That is me and my wife's professional wrestling company. We definitely got it back in August thanks to the ARC, Kenny Nine, and the wonderful fans. Make sure you subscribe to both. If you want to see some great wrestling, C3 Ultimate Wrestling. If you want to hear some great wrestling and see some matches from yours truly, the Take It Home Podcast. Since we are talking about the Take It Home Podcast, I am happy to announce that as of Thursday, I believe, we hit the 1,500 subscriber mark, 1,500 subscribers. I am truly grateful. First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Some call me Hawashah, some call me Yahweh, Yeshua, Yamashiach, whatever you call him, the Savior. Now, I thank him for instilling this kind of stuff and doing a lot of sacrifices for me to even have these kind of opportunities and basically to keep the Holy Spirit to keep me in tune to do what I'm supposed to do and be where I'm supposed to be for the most part, still asking for that protection now. I want to thank the fans. Now, I want to call you guys fans. I'd rather call you friends and family, you know, but subscribers, let's just say that. I want to thank the subscribers for even making this possible. If you've been on YouTube or been on YouTube for years or just started, you know that getting subscribers is very, very hard to do. I know a lot of people will be like sub for sub, you know, you promote it on social media, you may even pay for it. Doesn't always equate to people actually subscribing. You know, when I first hit 100 subscribers, I was thanking God and I was grateful. When I hit 50, I was great. I was thankful. What's going on? I cannot pronounce your name. Is it Patufo? I was just happy to even get 50 and then let alone winning up to 100. So now 1,500 is a blessing because with YouTube it's very difficult. I know a lot of people are streaming, a lot of people go live like I do, a lot of people talk about wrestling and they have channels and things like that. I know a lot of people do a lot of things to try to stay in the algorithm or even stay relevant or even just have people to subscribe, because you can have a video that has 1 million views and only have like 100 subscribers. That's just the way of the world, because you still have to sell that they're going to subscribe. And then you also have people who are called shadow subscribers. And this isn't a shade to them because I do this myself, where you type a channel in to listen to what they say, but you haven't subscribed yet. Either you're on the fence or maybe you just don't want a lot of stuff on your sub feed because you don't want like a lot of things. Trust me, I know those things. So if you are watching and you have not subscribed yet, I still thank you guys for even looking or typing in Take It Home Podcast, Classic Alpha, or C3 Ultimate Wrestling. I'm truly grateful for that. I thank you guys for even rocking with me for so long. This channel, the Take It Home Podcast channel, happened because I was on Facebook Live talking about wrestling topics and stuff, and a lot of my friends and wrestlers and colleagues would either chime in, they would join the lives, and they would also talk about stuff. Thank you, Arshawn. Shout out to you, man. Like, thank you for working with me, with C3, with even the Take It Home and everything. And I pray and hope that you have continued success with Critically Drinking, because you make people think, and that's very, very important. Sometimes people get mad when you think. I just did the Malcolm X thing. Anyway, still, thank you guys for rocking with me. Thank you, like, for guys like Arshawn, for guys like Yella to even like believe in me. That's like a big thing. A lot of people believe in C3. A lot of people believe in me and stuff like that. And to me, I go off of, I will not let you guys down as far as wrestling. Now, I might let you down in other stuff, you know. That's why you can't put people on pedestals. But I'm just being very humble and being very grateful. Stop it, sir. Stop it. Being very grateful for what you guys have done, because hopefully the stuff that I speak about and the wrestling that I do, and even the rest that wrestle for C3 and give the opportunity to show great wrestling, it's a form of serving. So to me, servitude is one of the main things we have to do on earth as believers of God and as followers of Christ. So everything that I try to do, even with this, with the podcast and everything like that, I try to give you guys the best content that I can do with certain things, trying to learn how to do better things with graphics and thumbnails, editing and stuff like that, and even going live more often. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't want it to make it seem like I'm being robotic or I'm just saying stuff to say things. If I'm not feeling like making content and speaking about something, I won't do it. There are times where I'm in this car just like I am now, just straight talking about something, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think that this should be dropped. You know what? I shouldn't upload this. You know what? This isn't going to work. You know what? I'm not in the mood for it or whatever like that. Those kind of things do happen. So for you guys to even rock with me with the content that I've had, thank you guys. I've had videos that I felt like should be have a lot more views, and they don't have a lot. I have videos be like, man, this ain't gonna make a lot of views, and then it's some of the most viral videos that I have. I'm just grateful that you guys is rocking with me. You get what I'm saying? 1,500 subscribers, I don't take that lightly. I take it very, very seriously. That means that I need to continue to speak about wrestling and things that people like and things that people don't like, because there's a bug in here. Yeah, y'all should have seen me a few minutes ago. Like when I got gas, as soon as I got in the car, it was a B. Now, if you want to see a 6'1", 260-pound man use supersonic speed to get up out of a car, y'all definitely missed it. All right, bug is out. Bug is out. But yeah, I almost got attacked by a bumblebee. But thank you, sir. Thank you, Pratik. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. If I don't say your name, guy's name right, please forgive me. One, I'm driving, and two, I'm just trying to understand the names right and everything. So, like I said, it's all love, and thank you guys. Appreciate it. But like I said, I don't take the subs lightly. I don't think that I'm owed this. I don't think that I'm entitled to it. So that's why I'm truly grateful for it, because just because I have 1,500 subs, I could have one sub tomorrow. We are living at a time where people have an opinion, and then people have options as well. Not only opinions, but options. So it's like, okay, Chris is talking about wrestling too much. Let me unsubscribe. Chris is saying something that I don't agree with. I'm going to unsubscribe. Chris is saying God loves you. I'm going to unsubscribe. These are the kind of things that we live with. You know, subscriber counts, they aren't permanent. They are special, but they are not permanent. So I am truly grateful for everybody that is rocking with me, because this car, this bug kicked out at 2, and I don't like that. I thought that bug left and it kicked out at 2. I don't like that. This car's not gonna let me over. Anyway, still they let me over. What's under the hood? I'm assuming you're talking about the scarf. I have dreads or locks. Some people don't like calling them dreads. I'll call them, well, mine are wicks. You know, if you call them locks, you call them wicks, you can call it that. That's fine. The reason why I wear this, I gotta sneeze 1 second. The reason why am I live having to sneeze? It's so crazy. Excuse me. Thank you. The reason why I have this scarf on, it's not for religious purposes, for sure. What up, Abomination? Long time, man. I've been trying to catch up on your Tighten Up Tuesdays. But man, by the time I get ready for work, I'm like, oh man, I gotta catch up, man. So I hope the comedy thing is working out for you and stuff like that. And I know you've been playing a lot of Sonic and everything and talking about a lot of stuff. So I definitely gotta go back and check out the channel. So make sure you guys subscribe to Abomination AJ as well. Oh, my car. Oh, I thought you were talking about my scar, Pratik. I drive a GMC Acadia. Big body, SUV. I love big cars. I got a big family, so I needed a big car. So that's what that is. But yeah. Sorry, I don't know. I thought when you meant under the hood, I thought you meant scarf. But still. 1,500 is definitely a big blessing to me. And like I said, it's more of an opportunity and it's also a chance. And it's like I said, subscribers aren't concrete. You know, people can unsubscribe just like that, you know, and it happens. Sometimes people aren't feeling what you're saying, or sometimes people don't want a lot of stuff on their timeline, or maybe some people just want to break from wrestling. Those kind of things happen. Man, thank you for even hitting up the live, man. It's been a while. We haven't chopped it up, but still, man, it's all love, bro. Hope you're doing well. But, yeah, going back into it, I'm just truly grateful for the 1,500 count, because like I said, when I hit 100, I was like, man, I got 100 subscribers. I wonder if I can get 200. You know what I'm saying? And then, I wonder if I can get 300, 400, 500. So now 1,500 is definitely a big thing. Like I said, the stuff that I talk about, there are a lot of channels that have way more subscribers and probably have better content to them. I think I do pretty good. And they have interviews with legends and stuff like that, and that works for them. But what we do here, it works for us. So like I said, I'm truly grateful. I wanted to also be transparent about me as far as wrestling in the year 2025. To be completely honest with you guys, I haven't wrestled as much as I expected to in 2025. Now, some of it is my fault, and then some of it is, hey, it is what it is. You know, this isn't nothing to basically be a woe is me or whatever like that. With wrestling, right? I was wrestling in Wisconsin a lot for the past 3-4 years, and then there was a situation that fell out that, you know, that happened, and I felt disrespected, and I haven't wrestled in Wisconsin since. Now, I could message other people to wrestle there and stuff like that, but, you know, I just been chilling for the most part, spending time with family, and then doing this, like going live, speaking about wrestling, doing more topics and stuff like that, you know. Like I said, this is probably one of the years where I haven't wrestled a lot, and it's not saying I'm really complaining. Like, I'm just grateful for what's going on. Like, I debut in another company. I'm going to wait for them to announce it in November. C3 is Ultimate Wrestling is continuing to grow. People are showing up. People are loving the shows and everything like that, buying tickets, buying food and stuff like that, bringing their family to great things, and that's a great thing. And something touched my heart yesterday, and I also wanted to speak about this yesterday. I went to Dollar General, which is like my favorite store, by the way, because the candy's still $1. But anyway, I went there, and I was behind a lady that I didn't notice because I wasn't paying attention because I'm married. But still, hold on, let me read these comments. Bro, do you know Tamil? Nah, I don't know Tamil. Now look at you. You got 1,500 around your neck, like Romans shoes. Right. The 1,500 are follow. But anyway, stop it, Arshawn. Anyway, she looked familiar when I talked to her when I left the store. That didn't sound right, but work with me. So she was in front of me. She had bought something and she left. So after I bought what I bought, when I left, there was a guy in a car and the windows were slightly tinted. He was waving. And then she started waving. And then when I looked at the guy, I remember the guy. This guy goes to almost every C3 Ultimate Wrestling show. Every show he goes to, every show. And I was like, oh, hey, how you doing? And stuff like that. And then I remember, that's where I remember her from or whatever, because that's their family and stuff. So she was like, hey, how you doing? And stuff like that. Good seeing you. And then the guy was like, do you live out here? And, you know, I did say I live out there. And he was like, he live around the block too. And he was saying, man, you had a great show last time. When is your next show? We're gonna go. Those kind of things I love, and I'm gonna cherish as long as I have an able mind, because it's just like, what I want to do with C3 is serve people. And with great wrestlers in C3 Ultimate Wrestling, they give me that opportunity, not only just for me, but for them as well. Wrestling is an outlook for a lot of people who may be dealing with stuff and everything. This is their diary. This is their therapist. This is their doctor. This is their medicine. This is their vegetables. These are things that get people together, right? This is what gets people to have wherever walks in life they're at, they have something in common in wrestling, and those kind of things can happen. And it is very encouraging. I will talk while driving. I won't look in the phone while driving a lot. But thank you, because that's something my mother would definitely talk about. But going into it, it's definitely something that like makes me feel like what I'm doing is very, very purposeful. Like, you know, God will tell you something, you know, you believe it. When it starts happening, you just cherish it. You're very grateful and stuff like that. So I think that wrestling is something that does that for me. Because like I said, I wasn't wrestling. I haven't wrestled a lot this year. But when we do at C3, we show up and we show out. And I do that for almost every wrestling company. Okay, you want me to wrestle for your company, you would like me to do that? Okay, fine. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a promo. I'm going to promote. I'm going to do all of this stuff, everything under the sun to make sure everybody looks at it. Same with comedy. It's an outlet for me. So that's, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to do things and try things and think outside the box when it comes to wrestling. And even with comedy, right? I'm going to be honest with you, AJ. I heard I'm a funny man. People laugh at me and like my jokes. Comedy is definitely one of those things. I especially stand up. It's definitely one of those things, man. I just can't do, man. Man, shout out to you, man. Shout out to y'all who do it. I've seen so many people bomb badly. I've seen people do great. But man, I just be looking. I be like, man, I just don't know. Like wrestling in tights, if you want to call them tights. I say singlet. I wear singlet. I don't know tight. But anyway, wrestling in that, some people be like, man, you gotta have some kind of courage. Some people wrestle shirtless. And, you know, their body don't look like it's a shirtless body, to each their own. But still, that's nothing to me. Talking on the microphone, nothing to me. Which is funny. Talking in front of a microphone, telling jokes to people, and trying to make them laugh. Nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. I feel like I'll be actually super duper nervous and stuff. With wrestling, I rarely have anxiety. I had anxiety one time. I don't know why. This was years ago. I don't know why, but I just had an anxiety attack. And it was just like, oh my gosh, like what's wrong with me? I don't deal with these kind of things. But these are the kind of things that do happen though. It's just normal emotion. Sometimes the most normal thing becomes the most nerve-wracking thing. Now you be in a onesie. All right, you're going too far, Sean. All right, people be leaving the subscriber counts, man. I ain't trying to kick you off the list, man. Don't be in no onesie. I couldn't perform publicly as is. It's definitely an art, and it takes courage. And then sometimes people don't get it right the first time. So even with comedy, I've seen people mess up, but then they continue to do it. A lot of comedians say they bombed before, but they continued and it was consistent, which is crazy. I remember I just saw like a recap because I remember watching Night at the Apollo. Richard Pryor, he has a son that does stand-up comedy, and he started doing stand-up comedy, and people wanted to start sitting down because they didn't feel that he was that funny. And I remember he started saying, "Have some respect." Now I thought that was funny. They didn't think it was funny, and what happened was, I believe it was Steve Harvey that was hosting it at the time. He was like, "Hey, y'all give him a chance" and stuff like that. Or whatever, was it Chris Rock's brother Tony? It was one of the two. And then he wowed the crowd afterwards. But still, it was just one of those things. It's just like sometimes failure does happen. When I first wrestled, my first match, I think that's when I had anxiety. I had crazy anxiety, right? Because I didn't know if I was going to do everything right. I didn't know if I was going to hurt somebody. I didn't know if I was going to hurt myself and stuff like that. But it wound up working out. You know, 13 years later, I'm definitely doing what I continue to love. And I do think that, like, not only is it just a hobby, but it is also a talent. So I'm definitely grateful for everything that continues to happen when it comes to wrestling. Very, very grateful. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's just an opportunity. I have people who have started around the time with me and also before me. And, you know, some have left. You know, some have found other walks in life, other passions and stuff like that. And then some people, they've just, you know, they felt like they've given all they can give. And wrestling can be very grueling. And y'all know me. I don't say this as give me some money or feel sorry for me, because I chose this. Nobody twisted my arm. Nobody forced me to. There's no family legacy that I'm trying to uphold or anything like that. I want to make my own, obviously, and I'm not knocking anybody that's trying to do that, because those are some big shoes to fill. You guys know one of the reasons why I started wrestling was because my wife was actually a wrestler before she even met me. You know what I'm saying? I think she's the coldest. I'm not even biased. I think she's the coldest. Look up Sensational Shay and put wrestling and watch some of the matches. You'll see what I'm talking about. But still, I could perform publicly. 14. I ain't trying. No, be no 14.99. Somebody told me if you ain't nervous, you don't care. That's actually a good assessment. I think I'm gonna use that, because even now with wrestling shows, like I can wrestle in front of 50 people. I can wrestle in front of 500. But sometimes, like even performing in front of people, you want people to show up. You hope that they show up, because there's a lot of shows. I've been to a show and it was only 7 people there. And the only reason why, and this ain't a joke, but it is, the only reason why 7 people was there was because the man said if somebody drove you here, the person that drove you here would have to pay to get in. Now, if the person didn't have to pay, they probably would have had 14 people. But it didn't work that way, unfortunately. It didn't work that way. It wanted to be 7 people. And I also remember the top rope breaking because somebody went off the ropes and it was just bad. It was definitely bad. It was a bad situation. So yeah, I've wrestled in front of 7 people. Not my show, not C3. I've wrestled in front of 7 people. I wrestled in front of hundreds of people. I've wrestled in front of big crowds and small crowds and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm definitely grateful. And even with C3, sometimes the worry is making sure that people are buying tickets and showing up to your event. Because a lot of people do say they're going to show up, and then sometimes they don't. Sometimes life happens. Sometimes they forget, or sometimes they just be pulling your leg. It definitely happens. But yeah, I'm truly grateful for that. So like I said, this year is like I haven't wrestled a lot, but I've gained a lot of traction and subscribers and attention either through C3 or the Take It On podcast. So like I said, I am truly grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for you guys for, like I said, even just listening to me and like hearing me out. Because sometimes I think that's the best thing to do is to actually hear people out when it comes to certain things. And with wrestling, you guys listen to me and stuff like that. And then even if you disagree, people will be like, okay, well, I disagree because of A, B, C, D. And I'm like, okay, well, I can see your point. Or maybe I'm like, okay, well, I see this. I never try to throw my weight around. I never try to throw my weight around and be like, oh, well, I'm a wrestler, so your opinion is wrong. But still, it's all love. So once again, thank you guys, because I just made it home. Thank you guys for showing out. Thank you guys for giving me subscribers. Thank you guys for believing in me. Shout out to people like Arshawn, RJ, Raphael. Raphael isn't in here. SMPs. A lot of the other people, new subscribers, old subscribers. Thank you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Will we hit 1,600? Lord willing. Will we hit 2,000? Lord willing. If not, if it stops right here, I'm grateful for what I have. Performing is stressful, but it gets easy. Yeah, I think that's the best assessment to say. Because with wrestling, I feel like I can face anybody and I can do anything. My business in wrestling outside of serving is to have great matches. And I feel like even this year, I haven't wrestled a lot, but I feel like I have put on banger after banger. Shout out to Sheamus because I'm still in this line. So I always think that. I know some people, they're in this business to collect a paycheck. Some people are in here just to, just to do big moves and stuff, just to say they do it. But to me, I'm all about having great matches. And I'm trying to think, I'm looking at all the matches that I've had so far this year. And I can sit here and say I'm proud of all of them. I think the Survivor Series style match that I did at the 11th hour, which was about a week and a half ago, I think that was like one of my favorite matches, not even just of this year, but just period. Alpha versus Omos at WrestlePalooza. Omos might be there, Arshawn. Classic Alpha will not be there. Classic Alpha is 2 hours away from Indianapolis, where WrestlePalooza is at. And Classic Alpha will not be there because those tickets cost an arm, a leg, your firstborn, and your first prayer. And I ain't about to do none of that. Not that. Y'all can have it. Y'all don't, hey, them prices, them ticket prices is definitely going to continue to go up, by the way. They definitely going to go up. And you want to know another thing? When you start bidding for WWE and stuff that people are doing for PLEs, people are going to start booking shows. They're doing this now. I'm going to say this to leave. They're doing this now for Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania 43. They're already requesting Shawn Michaels, The Rock, Undertaker, Stone Cold. They are requesting these wrestlers. These wrestlers don't even wrestle no more. Some of them is retired in part-time. They're saying they're going to give The Rock the most money a wrestler has ever gotten to perform at WrestleMania 43. That's how much. And I feel like that's going to be the future of WrestleMania or the PLEs. Whoever bids the most and pays the most, they get to say who's going to do what. We request this person, give them this amount of money, and then they're going to show up. It could be a good and a bad thing because I know a lot of people who don't wrestle. Some are fantasy bookers or they have emulations through like 2K, and stuff like that, and they'll you know, make their own matches and stuff like that. Sometimes they find joy in it. But now this is a little different. Like, you playing with some millionaire money. But still, thank you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you guys for rocking with me. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.